there, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Andrea and I've gone keto. Today I thought it would be fun to try and take you guys through Sam's Club. Now keep in mind, not all of my family does low carb keto. My kids do not, my husband does not, my brother typically does not. So some of the things that I will be buying today are obviously not keto, but I will not be partaking in them. It's sometimes, depending on what it is, sometimes it's very easy for me not to be tempted to eat them. Other times, yeah, it's very difficult to say no and walk away. I have to a lot of times remind myself that the sugar and the carbs in them, or the wheat in them, will typically cause me great pain. My arthritis will flare up, my ankles will swell. It's not pretty. It's just not pretty. So that physical reminder is a lot of times what keeps me from partaking in said non-keto garbage. So I will do my best to try and film. It's very busy today in the Sam's Club, so hopefully I will be able to do this. And yeah, wish me luck. Bye.
I've been waiting all my life for someone like you, like you. I would watch the days go by, wasted in blue. I was out of use. Now every day, every night, every moment with you, I'm walking on air. And every day, every way, I feel I can't lose. I wanna shout it out, ain't no limit.
Coffee. I drink a lot of coffee, I admit it. Probably shouldn't, but I do. Now, a lot of people like to put the syrups in their coffee. And the thing you have to really watch for, even the sugar-free ones, is what is in the coffee syrup. So this particular one has, let's see if it'll focus. It has sucralose. Is it gonna focus for me? It has sucralose in it. Now, granted, it does have 0 total carbs, 0 sugars, but sucralose, you do need to be aware that with some people, sucralose can still raise your insulin levels and still affect your A1C. So it's definitely something to use with caution. If you use it in moderation. And for me personally, I usually try to stay away from them. Occasionally I'll have a little bit as a special treat, but typically I don't use it.
One look, and I breathe. One touch, feels skin deep.
Okay, sweeteners. We all love sweet stuff, at least most of us do. One thing to keep in mind, and this is anywhere you go, no matter what grocery store you go to, is when you look for a sweetener, you are going to want to make sure to read the ingredients. This particular Splenda, which is sucralose, it has dextrose and maltodextrose. That's sugar. So you want to stay away from sugar. Even some of the stevia ones, you really need to sit down and read the ingredients, because they sometimes do also. This particular one, Trivia, this particular one, it does not. So this would be a safe option. It's erythritol and stevia extract. So if you need something on the go, quick sweetener, this one would definitely be the one I would go for. So like I was saying, you definitely want to make sure to read the labels. For example, stevia in the raw, it's not always cracked up to be. So if you look at the ingredients, first ingredients on the label, maltodextrin, sugar. They need something to bind it with. So if you get a stevia, which typically is a liquid, it has to bind with something. So a lot of times they'll bind it with sugar. Stay away. So then there are the little blue packets. You gotta be careful with the little blue packets. Not only is it aspartame, which, you know, argumentably can be bad or good, but typically it's bound with sugar, maltodextrin and dextrose. Best to stay away.
And I breathe. One touch feels skin deep. A picture perfect, underserving. Everything will probably go in and out, one thought, and we break. Airborne.
Okay, so not only do we need to look at the nutritional value, like I said before, but you also need to look at the ingredients as well. But in this case, the ingredients is pretty much the same. Okay, so the ingredients is pretty much the same between Pace and the Sam's brand, but if you look, we have 1 sugar, 2 total carbs, and here we have 2 sugars, but this one is saying it has 3 total carbs because it's saying it has less than a gram of fiber. But I'm gonna go with the Sam's because my total carb count is less. Plus it's a little cheaper. Another thing to be cautious of are oils. Canola oil, vegetable oil, corn oil. These are all not so good choices. They are very high in inflammation and can cause a lot of joint and inflammatory in your body. So you want to try and avoid them as much as you possibly can. Although there are going to be some things that you might enjoy, such as mayonnaise that has it in there. Just try to use them sparingly. I am working on trying to perfect mayonnaise, but mayonnaise is one that I have had difficulty with, but I will conquer it. So for me, you know, that little bit of soy oil in mayonnaise is tolerable, but as far as cooking with oil, I avoid all of these and I stay away from them. What I usually cook with is either butter or olive oil or coconut oil, and if you can find it, ghee is also a good one, and tallow. So very much the good end of the oil aisle. Oh, also avocado oil. I forgot about avocado oil. And if you're looking for a really yummy snack, here is a good one to look for. This happens to be the Sam's Club brand, but there are other brands out there. Parmesan crisps. They are a yummy little treat, and they typically are made with Parmesan cheese and salt, milk and salt, and 0 carbs, 0 sugars, and you get about 25 little crisps, and they're usually about the size of usually about the size of a quarter. So these are a good little snack. You can put them in salad, or you can eat them like a chip with the dip. So good. Now right now I decided not to get the Parmesan crisps, but they are something that I do get occasionally as a good snack. So the spicing aisle, lots of good spices. Most of your traditional spices, such as these over here, like your basil, cayenne, you don't have to worry about. They're just spices. A lot of them may have, you know, a carb or so for larger amounts, but typically it's usually minimal. What you do need to watch out for, though, are these pre-mixed ones over here, because they will add sugar to a lot of these. Now this particular one looks good, doesn't have any sugars in it, but for example, ranch dressing and maltodextrose is the very first ingredients. So you definitely want to try and make your own ranch mix, and it is possible. I do have a recipe, and I will be working on a video for that coming up shortly. So just be careful, be cautious, make sure that you pick it up. You may think, oh, it's just spices, but you definitely want to double check, read the ingredients. For example, this Weber steak and chop, yeah, it has sugar. So you can make a lot of these spice rubs and mixes yourself, and just kind of get an idea of what seasons. For example, this one has salt, onions, garlic, lemon peel. So those are all things you can mix together yourself.
One look and I breathe. One touch feels skin deep. A picture perfect, underserving.
Okay, meat department. So yeah, okay, so the turkey snack sticks, they are not necessarily the best choice, but if you are somebody who is on the go a lot and you are on a budget, sometimes jerky and beef sticks like this can save you from other choices. Also, lunch meat. I don't mind lunch meat. I will eat lunch meat, as well as hot dogs. They are a quick, I try to find the ones that are all beef if I can. They are a good quick grab and go. And if you are somebody that is on a budget, I highly recommend it. I also do, personally, will do breakfast sausage, and I always try to find the one that has the least amount of sugar and the least amount of carbs. And this particular one only has 2 total carbs and less than 1 gram of sugar per serving. So it's not too shabby. Okay, so cheeses. Processed cheese slices, not the best choice, although, you know, again, if you're on a budget, in a pinch, they work. They do have soy oil, so processed oil, so, and a lot of people say, no, they're not real cheese, so just use it sparingly if you can. If you can go with a real cheese, I would highly recommend it. Also, be careful when getting good cheeses. These are cheese sticks, and a lot of them, now this particular cheese stick looks pretty good. It's just mozzarella, so I would definitely look at cheese sticks. They're a great grab and go. I keep these in the meat drawer at my house, so the family can just come and grab a stick, and they're quick and easy. But one thing you do want to keep in mind, block cheese, shredding your own cheese compared to pre-shredded cheese. What you're gonna find in pre-shredded cheese is that they tend to use starch. Now this particular one uses potato starch, which is going to add to that total carb count. So like this is 1 gram total carbs. Whereas a block of cheese is not going to be as much. So if you can shred your own cheese, it is worth it. I shred mine in large batches and then keep it in a Ziploc container in my fridge. Sometimes it clumps up. That's why they use starch on these, is to keep them from clumping up. So if you don't mind a little clump every once in a while, it's worth the shred.
One look and I breathe. One touch feels skin deep. A picture perfect, underserving. Everything will probably go in and out of one thought, and we break. Airborne as we face misconceptions, picture perfect, a balanced blend and some pretend.
Okay, we're done, and as you can see, the back of my car is full. Thank God I don't have my kids with me because they wouldn't have very many places to sit. I ended up going slightly over budget, just a smidge. But in the same token, it's things that will last us for over a month. So you kind of weighs the balance out of spending between spending it now or spending half of it now and half of it in 2 weeks again when I have to go grocery shopping again. There were some things that I didn't get, either I didn't see them or I didn't want to buy the quantity that they had, or they didn't have like the brand that I would prefer. I will have to go to my regular grocery store here in the South in Florida. It is either Winn-Dixie or Publix. I usually shop at one of those two. I do have to go to Winn-Dixie because there is a brand of chicken nuggets that my kids will only eat, and only Winn-Dixie in my area has them. So the joys of autism, it's but at least they'll eat some chicken nuggets, so they're at least getting some kind of protein. Is it the kind that I want them to eat? Absolutely not. Yes, before you start writing in the comments, yes, I have seen the documentary on Netflix. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. And then in the documentary, there is a family who has a child with nonverbal autism, and they put her basically cold turkey onto a low carb keto diet, and it does wonders for her, but there's about a week where she barely eats anything. Would I do that to my kids? As hard as it would be, I would try it. But with my husband not being on board, there's just no way. I'm not going to put my kids through the torture of that, especially if my husband is not on board with it. So yeah, so we're slowly, with therapy, with occupational therapy, and with applied behavior therapy, we are working on food and them trying different foods, and it's progressing, but very slowly. Anyway, I digress. So I will need to make a stop at one of the other stores, not today because I'm tired and it's getting late and I'm gonna have to pick up my kids. And I still have to put all this stuff away. You can't really see the back, but behind that seat is packed full. So yeah, I spent almost, I don't want to say how much I spent. I spent almost $500. So, but again, a lot of meat, some cheese, lots of veggies, and some garbage for my family who won't, who just won't. So anyway, good day at Sam's Club, and if I get a chance, I will show you some of the stuff in detail when we get home. So let's go home. Okay, so don't mind the mess. I have to wash dishes, but this is my unpacked haul. Now granted, I have put a few things away that are non-keto for the family, but this would be things that you could eat on keto. I'll just real briefly go through it. I got salsa. I did buy store-bought mayonnaise, like I said, at the store. If you can make your own, that is better, but I have not been able to do a mayonnaise successfully as of yet. I will. It is a goal for this year to make my own mayonnaise, but for now I have mayonnaise. I did get a 10-pound bag of chicken breasts. I got 2 things of raised cauliflower. There are 4 12-ounce microwavable bags in each one. So that's 8 raised cauliflower. I did get a block of cheese. Like I said earlier, I will have to go to Winn-Dixie and get a few things anyway, so I'll get more cheese when I go there. I did get some lunch meat, which lunch meat, they say, you know, some people say if you're doing a clean keto to avoid, but if you're doing keto on a budget, it is absolutely a cheap option to get to eat for lunch or for dinner or something like that. Some cheese and some meats slices and you're good to go. Besides, my husband will eat these for his lunches. I will make him ham sandwiches. I did get some top sirloin steaks, and I will be dividing these up, so this will make a couple of meals, as well as some pork chops. And again, I'll divide these up and I'll probably get 3 meals out of this one, and like 4 dinners out of this. I got some ground beef. This is 80-20. I do go with the 80-20, which is a fattier cut of meat. It's the 73-20-23 or whatever is a fattier choice, but I tend to go with the 80-20. Just it's not too greasy, but it's got more fat. Bacon. This is a 3-pound pack of bacon. I go through a lot of bacon. It's my go-to. I will actually bake it in the oven and cook it up, and I will put it in a container in the refrigerator, and I will eat it cold. It's my go-to when I need a snack. A big thing of almond flour is a 3-pound bag. If you're doing any kind of baking with doing keto, almond flour. Hot dogs. And again, like I said at the store, are they a clean keto choice? A lot of people will tell you no, but if you're on a budget and you need something quick and easy, try to go for the one that has the less fillers and try to go for the all beef. mushrooms, which I will probably cook up with steak. I did get breakfast sausage, and this is a 2-pound pack, so this will easily make 2 meals. I can do sausage patties for like a breakfast dinner type thing, and 1/2 of it for sausage gravy, which is always a big hit. I got a big container of fresh baby spinach. I will make salads with this. This is probably, other than the cauliflower rice, probably one of the only vegetables other than broccoli and tomatoes on occasion that I tend to eat personally. Then I got a big 6-pound bag of chicken thighs, a 10-pound bag of chicken wings. We go through a lot of chicken wings. It's one of my husband's favorites, as well as coffee, because mama can't live without coffee now. And I got tomato paste and rotel. Tomato paste, it's cheaper for me to make my own spaghetti sauce, and I can also control what goes in it, so no sugar and so forth. So it helps to keep my carb counts low. And one thing I did invest in is a meal prep kit. Was looking for individual containers, and I didn't see any other than the styrofoam ones, and I didn't want that, so I figured I'd get this and give it a shot, and look at doing some meal prep stuff. So basically that is my Sam's Club haul. So I really hope that you liked this video. It's the first time I've ever done anything like this. I was a little nervous, and Sam's was really packed today. It was a little difficult at times to try and get some shots. There were a few things that I missed showing you. One of the things I did get also is a very large container of Parmesan cheese, and I also got a case of sugar-free, the Gatorade Zero. I occasionally will drink those, but not very often. I typically leave those for my son. He loves them, and they're a much better choice than the regular Gatorade with all the sugar in it. So I leave that for him for the most part. But like I said, this is kind of, when I go to Sam's, typically what I get. But there are a lot of things such as cheese. I didn't get heavy cream, which I will have to go to either Winn-Dixie or Publix to get. And those are just stores in the area that I'm in. So if you liked this video, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and give it a big thumbs up. And if you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the little bell notification so it tells you every time that I load up a video. And if you enjoyed me doing stuff like this, grocery haul kind of thing, let me know in the comments. Leave me a comment and let me know. Yeah, I'd love to see more. I'd love to see you go to Winn-Dixie or Publix or whatever. I will see you guys next time. I love you guys so, so much. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed to my channel. You guys, it means so much to me every time somebody likes one of my videos or subscribes to my channel or even just watches my video. It means the world to me, and I really, really do appreciate it. So thank you all so much, and have a blessed day.